Welcome everybody to my second ever Facebook Live class. I was thinking this would be a really wonderful way to get more people engaged in practicing that practice with me regularly, because you can do it from the comfort of your own home. So if you're just joining now, Jennifer, you don't really need anything today, just somewhere comfortable to lie down. So if you have a yoga mat, that's wonderful. If you have a blanket, great, but really just anywhere where you feel comfortable. And maybe having a cozy sweater or socks nearby you. You want to be warm for this practice because this is a very gentle, cooling, very minimal movement practice. And just anything else you might have around, so blocks, an eye pillow, anything like that. We are going to be doing a mix of a restorative practice and a yoga nidra practice. Is yoga nidra or is restorative yoga new to you, Jennifer? And if you're already lying down, don't worry. So the beauty of these practices, just before we get going, just to give you a little bit of information, yoga is such an umbrella term. So yoga encompasses, okay, wonderful. Yoga encompasses so many different styles of practice, obviously. Everything from like really active, intense kind of cardio, strength building, vinyasa, hot yoga, all the way to the very other end of the spectrum, which would be, Jennifer, thank you. Sorry, I can't really see your picture right now, so I wasn't sure. Okay, well, nice to have you. So the kinds of classes that you're both used to me teaching at the Y are on that more passive end of the spectrum. Sometimes I do sort of an active restorative class. I teach a lot of yin at the Y. I teach hatha. So if you have on one end of the spectrum vinyasa, the very other end of the spectrum is yoga nidra. And for me, yoga nidra is, it's truly the most life-changing type of yoga class that you can begin to practice and learn to cultivate, because that is something that no matter what happens to us in life, we can always go back to that practice. You can be immobile, you can have dementia and have a teacher come in and speak to you. It's something that doesn't require any physical movement. So those are the two ends of the spectrum. So today, what we're going to do is really just focus on the very end, yoga nidra, and just one over from that, which is restorative. So not even finding a stretch in any way necessarily. Really learning this art of down-regulating, turning inward, and really just getting into a comfortable position. So we'll start with restorative. I'll put you in a pose, and then it's just listening. It's just listening to me guide you, and listening internally to yourself, tuning into what you're experiencing, what you're going through, and learning to treat yourself with grace and acceptance. So to begin with, we're going to start lying down. We're going to come into fallen tree pose. So take your time to get nice and comfortable, lying reclined on your mat, so supine, legs can come long, and this is a great time to reach for any props that are going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. So you could place an extra blanket under your head for a little bit of support under the neck. And it's great to have, if you have blocks, you can have one on either side of you just for some knee support. But again, you don't need to have any of those things. So something I'm really trying to teach my students is that any prop is really just a bell and whistle. The only thing you need to do yoga, it's a state of mind. It's basically a safe spot to sit down or lie down. That's all you need. So to begin, coming down onto the back, making sure you create length in the back of the neck. You can tuck the chin to chest. And let's bend the left knee. If you have a block, you can use it as a little rest underneath the left knee, and bring the left sole of the foot so that it rests gently against the inner right thigh. Arms can come wherever is comfortable, perhaps out into a T, perhaps in a V shape by your body. And your choice whether the palms are pressing into the mat or back of the hands can rest on the ground and the palms can face upward. Welcoming yourself in to your practice this morning. Landing here. Perhaps you've just rolled out of bed not too long ago. Maybe you've been up already for a few hours. But wherever you are now, just settling in, allowing the shoulder blades to really relax down into the ground, allowing the shoulders, the arms, and the whole back of the body to feel really heavy. And once you've found a place of comfort and ease, can you bring your attention to your breath, probably for the first time today, not changing it in any way, just noticing. Noticing and bringing in a sense of appreciation for your own unique breath rhythm. Just asking yourself now, what brought me to practice this morning? So what brought you here today? Notice anything that might be coming up for you. Notice any judgment about what might be coming up here. And just taking a moment now to notice if there's anything else present. So what brought you here might not be the only thing that's here with you right now. So noticing how you're feeling emotionally. Is there a word, a feeling tone in the body? That really captures your mental state. And just noticing where you feel that feeling in the body now. If you're struggling with anything difficult and you're noticing a part of the body that's tightening, Can you just soften into that place? Closing the eyes down. And breathing here. Melting in. We'll be here for just another minute or so. Whatever you're feeling, just allowing it to be exactly as it is and sticking with it, even if it feels difficult or hard. Allowing it to stay present and noticing how it shifts, how it may ebb and flow or just pass through you as you sit and allow it to be. Like passing clouds in the sky. And when you're ready, very, very slowly and easily, you can even keep the eyes closed if they're closed, or if the gaze is soft, just keep the gaze soft. And engaging the core, just bringing that bent knee up and then allowing it to slide down long beside the right leg. So both legs are long. Arms can come up overhead. Let's take a full body stretch, reaching through the fingers, pointing the toes. And then softening everything, releasing all tension from the body. If you need to blink the eyes open and closed for a moment, please feel free to do so. So just listening to your body all throughout class today, but any class, any practice. The real art of a yoga practice is learning how to listen to what you need. We're going to move to fallen tree on the second side by bending the right leg, pressing that right sole of the foot down into the earth for a moment. And then if you are using a block or a blanket as extra support, you can just place it on the opposite side, on your right side, and then allow the right leg to fall open. Of course, you don't need a block for this, but as this is a very passive restorative class today, we're not going for the deep stretch as we would in a yin class. We're just looking to rest in easeful positions that completely calm the nervous system. So a block can be a lovely support here, or anything that will prop up that leg. And then once again, finding a position for the arms. Maybe you do something different this time. So maybe the arms are in a cactus pose. Perhaps this time you flip the hands and press the palms into the earth. Taking all the time you need, maybe making any micro movements, moving the neck from side to side. Taking all the time you need to settle in to something very supportive and comfortable If you need to put on socks in between the poses or a sweater, just taking all of that in as part of the practice. Those transitions are so much of life, so all part of the practice, setting yourself up and honoring the need to do that and those actions. And then when you find your pose, allowing the shoulder blades to melt into the mat. Noticing a sense of letting go and heaviness on every exhale as the back body rests on the earth. Checking in with the neck. And if you need to make an adjustment there, taking your time to create that little bit of length. And then inhaling deeply through the nose, perhaps pausing at the top for a moment, kumbhaka, the breath retention, and then exhaling, letting it all go, letting all your stress melt away. Can you notice now if anything has shifted since the beginning of class, emotionally or mentally for you? Or if that same emotion or feeling is present. Once again, working on acceptance of what is, allowing exactly what you are feeling to be okay. And can you sit with that feeling now, even if it feels difficult? Noticing where you may be feeling it in the body and taking the time to place perhaps a hand on that spot, softening in with every exhale. There is nothing that you can be feeling that hasn't been felt by the rest of us. No matter how difficult, no matter how shameful or embarrassed you may feel about that thing, when we remember that all of these feelings and sensations are part of our shared humanity, there is a great comfort, a togetherness. We'll just be here for one more minute in silence. Can you begin now to deepen the inhale through the nose, noticing every little sensation in the nostrils as the air enters in. Pausing at the top, and then noticing every little sensation as you exhale out through the nasal passages or through the mouth. When you're ready, beginning to blink the eyes open and closed, until they're ready on their own to stay open naturally. And can you now start to very slowly tilt your head to one side and begin to notice your surroundings? And if there's anything that your eyes are really enjoying seeing, can you allow them to rest there for a moment? Seeing if you can take in the shapes, the colors of everything around you. And then perhaps moving the head slowly to the other side. And just beginning to bring some gentle movement into the neck and into the fingers. Taking that bent leg back up now and allowing the left knee to bend so that both knees are bent and the soles of the feet are on the floor. Let's bring the hands together, interlace the fingers and reach all the way up. Melting the shoulder blades down into the mat and pressing the palms up toward the sky. Inhaling here, bringing a smile to the face. And then exhaling, let's send both legs long and take one more full body stretch overhead. Bending the knees once again, bring them into your chest and give yourself a gentle hug. Perhaps you begin to rock a little bit from side to side, releasing the back of the neck, releasing the low back. Either staying here, or if it feels good in your body, maybe taking a happy baby. So bringing the palms together and sending them in prayer pose between the legs, and then reach for the outer edges of the feet. And maybe you bring in a little bit of sway here, a smile, and knowing that despite the pain and difficulty in our lives, we fall back to happiness. We can't help ourselves, just as we can't maintain positive states all the time. We can't maintain the difficult ones either for too long. Soles of the feet can come together or just downward toward the groin area. And you can place your hands on the outer edges of the ankles, allowing the knees to fall open even more. Landing here in this little happy baby pose just for a moment. And then when you're ready, releasing and coming over onto one side of the body. Just pausing here for a moment in a little side fetal position. Notice how the body is feeling. And can you allow anything going on physically in the body today to also be okay, be as it's supposed to be. When you're ready, making your way all the way onto the belly, so coming into this prone position, let's just take a little crocodile pose for a moment. So for crocodile, just reaching up overhead, bending the arms and reaching for opposite elbows, and then placing the forehead gently to rest on the forearms. Perhaps you take a little bit of rocking from side to side with the tops of the feet, sending the heels to the right and then to the left, back and forth. Press the pelvic bone into the mat, and then maybe just sending the right heel toward the right glute, and then the left, just alternating here. Remembering the sense of playfulness, childlike innocence. And now, finding a place of comfort, you might want to place one cheek down on the mat. So maybe the right cheek rests down on the floor or the mat. And if it feels okay for you with your low back, you might want to keep one heel toward the glute, or even both, just getting a gentle sensation in the quads. But again, this is not a yin class today, so just experimenting with whatever feels soothing and restful for you. If there is any kind of stiffness or tension in the low back, just leaving the legs long. Bringing the attention back to your natural breath rhythm. And I invite you now to begin to cultivate what we call a Shreya. A Shreya is this beautiful concept of having an inner refuge. We can begin to cultivate our Shreya by thinking about a time when we felt truly happy and relaxed or peaceful. This may call to mind a place that you remember, perhaps a time in childhood. It may be a place you've visited on your own where you found beauty and tranquility. It might be your bed. So just bringing to mind first the feeling tone in the body that gives you a sense of calm, peace, joy, or love. And then beginning here to think about adding some details in. This doesn't have to be a physical place. This doesn't have to be a real place. We can build a Shreya in many different ways. I have multiple Shreyas I turn to at different times. It could be the sound of something soothing from your childhood. For me, it's the hum of sports on TV, because my father used to watch a lot of sports. The scent of my mother cooking in the kitchen. So using all of your sensory awareness now, we will be here for 3 minutes in silence while you work to cultivate your personal Shreya. with that beautiful sense of inner refuge in your mind. Just gently now bringing the hands just outside of the shoulders, pressing the palms into the mat. Let's tuck the toes and press ourselves up onto hands and knees. If you have any wrist problems, feel free to make a fist instead here. And let's just move into a gentle cat-cow. Very slow, just bringing some gentle movement into the body. You can even sink the glutes back toward the heels, and on the inhale, press the heart center forward and through. The gaze can come up slightly. Belly is heavy, sitting bones reaching up. Inhaling here, and then on the exhale, rounding through the spine, tucking the tailbone, spreading the shoulder blades, sinking back on the exhale. Just one more of these, and taking your time here, maybe swaying from side to side instead, scribbling outside the lines, maybe making little spinal rolls. Just listening to your own body and what it's asking for. And then bringing the big toes together, widening the knees only enough so that your spine can fit snugly between them. Let's sink back into shell pose. Forehead can come to rest on the mat. And really making this your own. So whatever variation feels the best in your body today, you may want to reach around for the heels with your hands. If you're more comfortable having the knees closer underneath you, that's another variation as well. I'm demoing propping myself up onto my elbows and just using the heels of my hands to press into my eyes in this soothing gesture of self-support. Bringing your attention back to the breath here. Can you bring the idea of your Ashreya to the forefront of your mind now? Letting the sense of this refuge infuse your entire body with love, comfort, and happiness. Making any adjustments you need. And if shell isn't a comfortable, restful pose for you, taking any other variation, prone on the belly, you could stay in crocodile, you could come into a half frog, just listening to your own body. Wherever you are, we'll settle in here for our last restorative pose. I encourage you to stay with the breath or stay with this beautiful Ashreya you are building, deepening it, cultivating it for our last 2 minutes in silence in this pose. peacefully now, taking your time, just making your way all the way back up and coming into a little seat, but with deer pose legs. So for deer pose, it's as if we have one part of the cross-legged seat happening. So crossing one leg, but then sending the second leg, bending that knee and sending both feet in the same direction. Before we come into our final resting Shavasana pose for a short little journey into Nidra, let's just take a little bit of a twist. So aligning the spine as best you can on top of the hips, sitting up nice and tall, inhaling, and then leaving the legs exactly as they are, taking a small little twist over to one side, breathing here. If the shoulders are scrunching up toward the ears, just allowing them to settle. Gaze can come behind the back shoulder, opening up the neck. And then exhaling, taking a small little counter twist to the opposite side. Same thing, gaze can come behind the back shoulder, feeling the stretch now in the neck on the second side. And then making your way back to center, allowing the legs to come forward, bent knees, soles of the feet on the ground. Perhaps taking one or two little half neck rolls. Inhaling through the nose, and on the exhale, crossing the opposite leg, and then sending both feet in the direction of the second side, aligning the spine, inhaling here, and taking your twist over to the second side. Breathing into that sensation in the side of the body. Gaze can come over the back shoulder. And then unraveling, taking your little counter twist here. And making your way down onto your back now for our short, about a 15-minute little Nidra session. If you need to take a moment to go to the washroom, if you are feeling chilly and you need to grab a sweater, turn up the heat, just taking a couple of minutes now to get everything in order so you're nice and comfortable for the Nidra portion of our class. I'm actually going to pop out of the room just for a moment. So getting yourself as settled as you can. Perhaps you want to light a candle or put on some incense, and we will begin the Nidra in just 2 minutes. So hopefully you're nice and settled now. making sure you're as comfortable as you could possibly be. If you could make yourself just 5% more comfortable now, what would you do? Can you just take a moment to do those things? Welcome to your Yoga Nidra practice. Yoga Nidra is this lovely art of yogic sleep. It's a state of semi-consciousness, a state of non-sleep, deep rest. But if you're very stressed out, if you're worn out, if you're overly tired, you might fall asleep, and that's just fine. There's no way at all to do it wrong. It really is just the art of listening and turning inward. So if you're comfortable closing your eyes down, or finding an eye pillow or a sock or a scarf to cover the eyes, that can be quite lovely with this practice. There's no way at all to do this wrong, so just giving yourself permission to let go of any expectations you might have. You're just going to listen instead to your body's own innate inner wisdom. Our intention here is to be in a restful position, but if you need to move or shift, if you need to turn over, come into a new position, of course, listening to your own body, anything is welcome. The idea is to rest in complete comfort. So just trust in the process and surrender in. Make sure you're all cozy and tucked in, creating your little Nidra nest, as we like to say. Just allow gravity to do the work here. Allowing yourself to feel completely supported by the ground beneath you. Yoga Nidra is a form of extended Shavasana that allows us to down-regulate the nervous system. And in so doing, it mimics all of the benefits, really, of a deep night's sleep. And we can accomplish this in just a short session, even 10 minutes. A time of non-doing, a time of being. There's nothing at all you need to do. Just listening and welcoming in the tranquility now. Can you take a deep inhale in through the nose, and on the exhale, lengthening out even longer. Just 2 more of these here now. With each exhale, extending longer. And after the 3rd round, falling into that beautiful natural breath rhythm that is all your own. It's time now to welcome in your Ashreya, the inner refuge you began cultivating earlier in class. And if you have any kind of sankalpa, any kind of positive statement that you can make in the present tense, if you're working with a sankalpa, perhaps invoking it now, or maybe using the sankalpa I am joyous, safe, and peaceful. I am joyous, safe, and peaceful. Can you now envision that you are walking gently in a green meadow, the start of spring, noticing it all around you? Can you imagine that you're barefoot, feeling each blade of soft green grass between your toes as you walk? Noticing the cool air on your body, the air as it hits your skin. Perhaps you open your arms out into a T and start running through the meadow, feeling the warm sun hitting your body, noticing the gorgeous clear blue sky with just a few puffy white clouds passing through overhead, and a sense of freedom and goodness coming over you, running free. Imagining a younger version of yourself here. Fast and free. Can you imagine now that you stop and decide to lie down on the soft green grass in Shavasana, gazing up at the sky, birds flying overhead, noticing all of the nature around you. I invite you to welcome in your witnessing consciousness, an older version of yourself now, a wiser, older version of yourself, gazing down on you, on your young self in the field, with love and excitement for you. You hear birds chirping all around you. You're acutely aware of all of the life, the flora and the fauna surrounding you. Noticing it all. Noticing the trillions of cells in your body, all infused with joyousness and peace. Breathing it all in. Now, staying with these feeling tones in the body, can you allow the image of the field, the grass, the sky, allowing all of that to melt away? But stay here with the feeling tone in the body, the joy, the peace, the love. And very, very slowly now, without changing anything yet, just bringing the awareness back into the room you're practicing in. Noticing the temperature of the air on your skin. Perhaps blinking the eyes open and closed, open and closed. And when they want to stay open on their own, allowing them to do so. And then beginning to bring in a little bit of movement into the extremities. This could be very subtle at first, maybe little taps on the floor with the fingertips. Maybe you roll the ankles to the left and then to the right, pointing and flexing the toes. And then slowly and gently bringing some larger movements into the body. Perhaps bending one knee and then the other. Or maybe windshield wipering the legs from side to side. And then making your way into a side fetal position. Giving yourself a little hug. And just taking a moment to pause here and notice how you're feeling in the body. Notice if there has been any shift, or if there hasn't been a shift in the feeling tone, the emotional tone from when you started this practice. And there is no wrong answer, there is no correct answer. Everything is as it may be. Everything is welcome. This is just a practice of taking your time, slowing down, and listening to what's going on inside of you. Finally making your way all the way up into a cross-legged seat. Getting out any wiggles. Thanking yourself for carving out this time for yourself to learn these wonderful tools to help you on your journey through life, which is often challenging. Can you roll the shoulders away and down the back and bring your palms to heart center? I wish I could see all of you. I wish that we could be in the same room. But I'm so happy to have had the opportunity to expand and practice in this way with you. I thank you so much for being here to support me in this new effort. And I hope to see you live in the garden. All of our garden programs are starting, yay, this weekend. I hope to see you at Stavro Y. And let's just close out together with a deep inhale. Exhaling. Namaste, everybody. Thank you. I will be around for the next 5 or 10 minutes here. If anyone has any comments, I can see now the comments. Anything at all, any feedback is wonderful because this is brand new to me. So anything about volume or anything, lighting, any comments, any constructive criticism is completely welcome. I really encourage you to go on our website, bestillyoga.ca. If you haven't already subscribed to our newsletter, it only comes out once a month, but it will tell you all of the happenings. We've got free online classes, we've got some free garden classes, we have other garden classes, day retreats, all kinds of stuff. And now our garden is a rentable space. So if you have a party, a group of friends, work colleagues, it's possible to rent the garden with or without me teaching. So yes, hopefully that went well. And I will see you all soon.